It's time for your Low Country Real Estate Market Update. It's the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. Brian is one of the top 1% real estate agents in Charleston. Find him online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Or call him at 843-400-8009. Now, broadcasting from the WTMA studios, here's your host, Brian Beatty.
Good morning, Charleston, and welcome to another edition of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. And also, by the way, 96.9 HD2, now on FM. So welcome to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. If this is your first time tuning into this program, I've been on this show for 10 years. I've been selling real estate here locally in Charleston for 17. And I share my experiences with you about what I go through in helping people buy, sell, invest, manage, finance real estate, and then relate that to you so that you guys are informed consumers. You understand what's happening in the market. If you've listened to the show before, you know that I like to kind of peel back the curtain on this industry and really help you understand kind of what agents go through and their thought process and the takeaways from that so that you can ask the right questions, so that you can set the right expectations when it comes to the relationship with you and your agent. So we're going to talk about quite a bit today. We're going to talk a little bit about the market. We're going to talk about affordability and how challenging it has been for folks to get into the market to purchase. We're going to talk about a solution to that, one of a few different solutions actually, which is seller financing. So I'm going to kind of peel the layers of that onion back and help you guys better understand how to structure a seller financing deal. Who is it for? Is it a good idea? What are the risks? What are the concerns? We're going to talk a little bit about property management. We're going to talk about investment property, acquiring property, managing property, all that fun stuff. A little bit later on in the program, I want to talk a little bit about preparation, right? We're right in the middle of basically the hottest time of the year in our market. So we talk a lot as real estate agents about being ready. Right? You have to be fast. You have to make quick decisions. Well, not always, but it does help to be prepared. So I want to talk about what it looks like to get prepared, whether you're buying or selling a home, so that you can make those quick decisions with confidence. That's what that's all about. So all that and a little bit more right here on the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. Now, if you want to reach out to me, if you have some questions about the market, you're thinking of buying or selling a home, you want to invest in real estate, you own a home that you would like for us to manage for you, we have all different kinds of incentives out there. In fact, for the month of May, we're taking 25% off our best listing package, our premier listing package. So we've got commission incentives that go down as low as 2.4%. We're happy to offer those incentives to you just because of the volume of real estate that we sell. We have the ability to do so, and it helps you put some more money in your pocket. So why not, right? So if you want to reach out to me and learn more about those incentives and the possibility of working together, my number is 843-800-0065, 843-800-0065, or listingsincharleston.com is our website, listingsincharleston.com. You can see what's for sale, find out what your home is worth, find out how many buyers we have in our database for your home, all kinds of great stuff on that website. And then, of course, you can go on YouTube and you can watch, I think close to 800 videos now where you can put a face to the name, right? So we record these radio shows, we put them into video and we put them on YouTube, we put them on our site and Facebook and Instagram. So, or you can just search the Brian Beatty team and you'll find us. But all right, let's get into it because I've got a lot of ground to cover this morning and I want to make sure that we have enough time. So inventory, it's this hot button item that we have been talking about for years on this program. Last month, April, was the slowest month in a decade for new listings. All right, we put 1,809 homes on the market in April. We haven't seen a number that low since 2013. So we're struggling with putting enough inventory on the market to create a balance over time. What we're putting on the market is getting absorbed. We've got multiple offers. It's still a seller's market, despite the fact that interest rates are high, affordability is low. It's counterintuitive. It really is. It's tough for us that are in the market on a daily basis to look at somebody in the eye and give them a confident answer as to what's going to happen 6 months from now, a year from now, to help aid in that decision. Now, when we get really granular with the specific markets that they're looking in, then we can make some more pointed assumptions and we can truly be of value. But what we talked about even last show was that there's really no such thing as a national real estate market. We can give national numbers and trends and data points and so on and so forth, but they're really not that applicable, if we're being honest, because what's happening here in Charleston, South Carolina is a lot different than what's happening in Las Vegas or LA or Boston or New York or Charlotte or Atlanta or anywhere else, right? Every market is unique and every section of every market is unique. That being said, nationally, we are dealing with an inventory shortage. And the reason for that, of course, is that we have so many folks that have, 3 or less % interest rates that there's just not a lot of financial incentive for somebody to move right now. So we're really struggling with putting new inventory on the market. Like I said, slowest month in the past 10 years the last 10 Aprils in terms of new listings. So I want to just kind of relate that to what a typical buyer in this market is going through. So here's a little bit of a glimpse into the plight of the first-time home buyer, or maybe not even the first-time home buyer. But I did this Friday, and I was just poking around online, looking in at the MLS, and just kind of putting myself in the shoes of different folks. What is it that they can afford right now? What does the inventory look like for that person? And so let's say that you make $75,000 a year. And you've saved up, 5% for a down payment, which is $15,000. And, let's say you're going to get an interest rate of 7%. And, I guess one more assumption would be that you're going to spend 30% of your total income on housing. All right. So if we take those things into account, right, you make $75,000 a year, you've got 5% down or $15,000 for a down payment, your interest rate 7%, 30% of your income is going toward housing. That means that you can afford to buy basically a $300,000 house. So in all of Charleston County, there are nearly 900 properties available for sale. And let's just say that you're not looking for a condo, you don't want a townhouse, you want a house. Well, there's only 20 of them for sale at or under $300,000, and more than half of them are in need of serious renovations. Now, for those of us that have lived in Charleston for a while, I'd say more than at least 5 years, let's say, even us locals have sticker shock on real estate prices at this point. We're at a time in Charleston where a lot of folks that live here would classify it as unaffordable. Or if they were going to buy their house right now, they could not afford it. In fact, when you look at the home affordability index in March, we don't have April's numbers yet, but which I expect to be even worse than this most recent March. But looking at the home affordability index in March, the median income in Charleston was only 78% of what was necessary to qualify for the median priced home in our area. So this type of environment, high prices, low inventory, high interest rates and high monthly payments, it creates a significant barrier to entry into the real estate market if you're going to use a traditional mortgage. But, like I always say, and like I say to the agents on my team, where there's chaos, there is also opportunity. And I'm talking about seller financing. Seller financing is a very interesting option for a buyer that might be sitting on some cash, but just doesn't look great in the eyes of a traditional lending institution. Maybe they're self-employed. Maybe they had something that affected their credit, even though, we all know about the, well, hopefully we know, but if you don't, last show I talked about the loan limit price adjustments that have been put into effect as of the beginning of this month, which basically state that if you have a lower credit score, you are going to get a more favorable interest rate as opposed to those that have better credit and a higher down payment. And if that just shocked you, go on YouTube, go on my YouTube channel, the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show, or the Brian Beatty team, and look at that video. It's about 10 minutes, and it explains in detail what this is all about. And so even though we've had this, this door that's opened for folks that might be challenged with a lower credit score, regardless of whether it was their fault or not, if they have a lower credit score, they're getting more attractive terms now. They're actually saving some money opposed to those that have better credit scores and a bigger down payment. But anyways, seller financing is an interesting option for them that allows them to get into home ownership at a flexible term. And so I want to break this down for you guys. There's some benefits, there's some drawbacks. I want to talk about setting this process up. And then a really important kind of 3-part acronym, PIT, stands for price, income, and taxes. So we're going to talk about that when the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show returns right here on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Visit Brian Beatty's website at listingsincharleston.com. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues next on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA.